Hey there, it's Juicy Jude. You guys, I'm getting this major situation coming to my attention and my awareness, not only from definitely from my crown and my spirit energies telling me in my higher soul, but also I do have linear grounding information in the subject. I feel like we really need to talk about what is a toxic relationship. You know, what are we doing here? Because it's coming up every single thing I do with all the readings. It's like always it seems to be about this toxic relationship that people are having on the planet with other people, whether it be family, romantic, marriage, whatever's going on. So this can go anywhere in your deal, but definitely it's a thing coming up. And how do we spot it? How do we know if we're not just, is it like a drug and we're just so comfortable we don't want to get out of it? Do we think we don't know how to get out of it? There's many reasons why people stay in toxic relationships. Although, there's a certain thing about you have a spiritual obligation to yourself to draw your own boundaries. The first thing that you should know about the first sign is if you meet somebody and immediately they start to do all kinds of it's not like people can't be nice, but it's like all these nice things they're finding out all about you, and right away you drop your you think you've just met someone. You're like, oh yeah, this is great, let me tell you all of my things and I know that you'll understand. And you have to watch for too much excessiveness of that. Like, there's nothing that you owe anybody to tell anybody about, anything, really. If you're, let's say and it depends on what sign you are too, like how you relate to this, or how you would react to this. But it's easy to get sucked into these kind of relationships, no matter what. It could be whoever's grooming you or love bombing you. Love bombing is just like, oh, you're just so great. Everything about you is so amazing. And then, as time goes by, there starts to be the devaluation. So everything that was good about you before is now what they hate about you, kind of thing. And this happens in a series of timing. It depends on how the narcissist or the toxic person, it depends on how deep it is and how long it's been going on for them. So, it's hard to determine it, but what you have to do is know that your high priest, your intuition is always right. And that's the one thing. We doubt it. We just doubt it. So people doubt their own intuition because we want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and we also don't want to have to be uncomfortable with the fact that this is actually happening. So just to know, watching the signs and there's a balance. It's always about the balance. It's always about the boundaries. You have to have your own boundaries. So, let me just say, for example, let's say I'm an exotic dancer and I love dancing, right? Exotically. And, you meet me in this way. And then you want to change it. You want to devalue me now, constantly. And at this point, a lot of people have already moved in with these people or even gotten pregnant, have kids. Maybe they're even married for a while, and it's just been okay. And who knows what they're doing behind the scenes to get their extra energy. Because remember, All of this is about not having faith. That's how you slip into this place in the neocortex where nothing in the higher brain has been made a relationship with. The neural nets, all of it doesn't even have a connection because you have no faith. And that's where it starts, because then you have to suck it from other people who do. And it gets pretty ugly, the whole process of the narcissist. But then we have narcissist codependency. So it's really basically the opposite spectrum, but it's still the same thing. It's pathetic. And people need to really, really watch their energy, their skunk medicine, their whole field, and be more careful about just going straight into something. And especially with all this online dating that goes on and all this shit, it's like, that's a breeding ground for narcissists. They usually have a harem, whether it be their family or other girlfriends. Somebody's always on the back burner, just in case, that after they've sucked the life out of the codependent. So it's like, I'm just saying, this is very big signs. Don't get sucked in. Oh, this is a great person. I can't believe I really like this. Because we don't know. So be really careful and watch yourself and keep your spirit and your light bright. I'm not saying, I don't know if you've ever seen those vampire movies where the vampires actually feed off of humans because they just let them. That's a codependent, and the vampire's the narcissist, right? That's just a metaphor. I'm just telling you, because that's what it really looks like in real life relationships. And it can be anywhere. It can be your loved one, of a family member that just or maybe it's been happening slowly over a long period of time, but you just got a big whiff of it and you're like, oh, something stood up. Something's been telling you this, right? So this is when this is hard, but that's why before it happens, I feel that we should stop, because we're going to stop. I had a song, can't get it. Cause I really love you, baby, stop. I don't know, I'll get it in a minute. But anyway, it's really like you have to really be loving yourself more than you need. More than you need someone to love you. You have to love yourself. It's in the Lover's card. It keeps coming up, though. I had to do a special one about it because I just had another couple incidents of people that have had readings with that are going through the same shit, and it just keeps coming back. As much as I've done a couple things about this, but I'm just going to have to keep working with it, because basically you would think that it's both just about, sorry about that. You would think it would just be about you getting to know one another, and yeah, it's just like regular things that happen in a relationship when you're first getting into it, right? And then you have to work through quirks. But red flags come up straight away, and you will know what they are. And yes, part of you is like, well, that just could be a relationship, I'm working through this, or we just had our first fight. It doesn't matter. Whatever's coming up that seems unreasonable and shitty means that's what it is. And it's always comes with, usually you'll know the red flag, because not that you don't deserve a lot of flowers and pampering and all the things that you should have, but it's just that it's overkill somehow in a relationship with a, usually a romantic relationship, intimacy kind of thing. with your family, it could be a trigger. Maybe someone has a child and it just totally triggers the mom or the dad, or who knows what's going on. But you still have to watch that for with anything. But definitely the overlove bombing, and then asking you wants to know everything about you. You're the most fascinating thing that they've ever seen in their life. And they then will get to know you, and then after a certain amount of time, who knows how long, some of this shit happens because somebody loses their faith 10 years into a marriage, and it could happen after that. I mean, who fucking knows? Because it's crazy. But that, as long as we keep our spirits high, and our awareness and consciousness to a higher level of something more than just this crazy world, this place that we're spinning around on, if we can keep our shit together in that way, we are responsible for our own souls and our own soul purposes here on this fucking planet and wherever we are, on any realm. So you have to keep that safe. In the way that I mean safe is, from spirit, your guides and angels, your higher soul. You have to do that, because otherwise someone will drain the shit out of it, and they will anyway. That's why you have to check your boundaries. That's why the skunk medicine is very important. And I've also, so things to look for. At first, too much overkill is one of the things. And especially even if it's a family member that you've known forever and they're doing something especially like overkill-y, something crazy that's not familiar, that doesn't seem right. You need to call in your higher medicine, your higher soul, spirit, and then also call in the Archangel Michael, blocking that shit from, blocking your field every day from penetration of predators. And that can be anywhere. They're closer than you think. So also watching, just really being careful, man, because there's a lot of people losing their shit out there. Yeah, I guess it's always been there on some level, but like when I was younger, I didn't see as much of this craziness going on. And I think it's mostly the internet, the dating, the online, the shit you see all the time. But you have to be careful, and I don't mean to say that there's not a lot of great stories out there that may be worked for this kind of dating, and I'm just saying to you that it's rampant. I do readings all the time, and also everything I'm doing, I'm hearing about it. So it's like, and I'm already seeing it. So it's just like something I needed to call to the attention of my listeners. And if you're new, it's just something that to watch for. And the next thing is slowly, they like to devalue you. So like everything they love bombed for in the first place, now they're like putting it down, and it hits you in a place where you're like, what the fuck just happened? I thought we were family, we were friends, whatever, and now you're using the thing that I was vulnerable about to make me feel like shit, or and it happens in an instant. It's a demon energy, man. It's because they don't have their own soul, man. They have to, and then they get sucked in by the higher, the other realms when people leave their body and can't get through the light with addictions and all their bullshit. And then that comes through because they're susceptible, because they don't have their shield, they don't have their faith. So it's really about that, about faith. And I don't know what word to use, faith. It's about your awareness, man. Raise it the fuck up. It's about you being aware of who you are on this planet, not just a robot and going through the motions on the human experience with no consciousness or no awareness. It's ridiculous, and people need to wake up. So that's my message, and you need to be careful because these signs come up, and there's more we can go into, and we will, but I'm just telling you, these are some of the signs. If a family member or a loved one, or you just meet somebody, whatever's happening, and all of a sudden they're love bombing you, or if that doesn't even happen and they're starting to devalue you, it's toxic. So it doesn't even really matter if they're narcissists or not, which is a mental disorder. So they say to me, what Spirit has told me is that it's just a person with no faith. So a toxic relationship could be somebody working through their bullshit, but you still have to have your boundaries, man. And if you don't, somebody will make them for you and your energy will be gone. And that's another way to know, man. Because if you start to have a lack of energy, like you feel like, oh my God, I feel in confusion. I feel so confused that I did not, I feel confused, and you still can't figure it out. You got to pay attention to all this shit. And if you're up there higher in your brain or wherever you're at, with your faith, your knowing, your awareness, you just have to know that something feels fucked up and off in your field. You could feel it. So you have to follow that intuition. You can't let that go, because that's one of the biggest things that we have to know. And that's that high priestess energy. So to be grounded with the high priestess and the empress, just like, or the emperor, and all of it, it's male or female, it doesn't matter who it is. This happens to men and women and what gender you are. So basically, it's about really paying attention to how you're feeling and how this starts to, you will know. You keep your faith, you'll know. You have to keep your prayers tight with cutting the cords, however you do that. I have many videos about that, but we're going to keep on going with it because it's coming up strong. I don't know what is going on the planet right now. Well, I kind of do, but I see it in the grid. I'm just saying, like, wow. It's, I thought, I don't even know what, and it might get worse. So I want to put these messages out there. I'm also going to be doing another reading, and I'll be posting that, and a medicine. I love it when the medicine things come in. So we're going to be doing that too. So watch out for that. But just really, really staying high, because, again, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And you need to be focused on your strengths and keep your body, you're strong, your juice, you keep your spine straight, keep your shit together, because people have less of a chance to mess with you when you feel strong. Even though you might be getting the shit sucked out of you and you don't know it. So be careful, be aware, be safe, and call in your reinforcements, and stay juicy. All right, namaste. Till next time. I hope that was helpful, because we all need to keep our boundaries very, very safe without closing our hearts down. To give and receive love from our true divinities without being closing it down, but letting it in with boundaries. It's just the way it has to be, man. It's a balance. That's this human planet. The male, the female, we split into bodies. We got both of them inside of us. We've got to balance. That's our job. And you can do it with someone if they're able to do it too, and not be controlling you and trying to monopolize your whole life. If somebody wants to check in on everything you're doing, or have to get in your business in any way, whether it's a family member or a lover or a husband, like anybody who wants to, wife, whatever, wants to be looking at your shit all the time, there's no trust there. So whether it's the one getting it or the one giving it, there's no trust. And even if no one's giving it or getting it, it's still no trust, and it's controlling, and it's not a good relationship. So you need to have your own freedom. That's what we need in this world. That's who we are. And I'm going to say it again. Either way, it's okay. You wake up with yourself. And that's the way it goes, man, whether you're here, there, or anywhere. So just love yourself more than you give everything out. Make sure you're nurturing yourself. I'm talking to myself too, man. Also, on the airplanes, they do tell you to give oxygen to yourself before you can help anyone else. So let's use that as a metaphor. Start shaping. You better shape up because you need yourself. Because you need yourself. And your heart is set on you. Let yourself be the most important deal here, man. And then you can give it to someone else, but you can't if you don't recognize signs of abuse. And probably it could be unconscious from others too. They don't even know they're doing it. So it's up to us to be our own protectors and call in our guides in the unseen world. And if we have them here, but mostly I feel for me, that's where I go. And yes, it is nice to have people on the earth that can show up for us. We also want to just be careful to keep our energy balanced and not to be victims. And that's how we do it. This is how you do it. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. As usual, listeners that have been with me, I'm glad to have you and always to listen and share this consciousness, awareness higher, and also to new ones that have come. If you're listening for the first time, you can always subscribe and like so that whenever my little beautiful big whatever they're doing come through, you can be involved in it with spreading the awareness, instead of the COVID. I can't help myself sometimes. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Blessings.